there a project or game coming up that you are excited about?
Mine or someone else's? So I'm just wrapping a project based on J.G. Ballard's science fiction, intermingled with other contemporary influences for Wretched New Flesh by the Red Room. So it'll be interesting to see how that does and the reception that it gets. Ballard's a difficult thing to translate into tabletop because it's quite mundane and grounded stuff for the most part, occurring within a fantastical or an extreme setup. So I've had to make some changes to that. Obviously not everything works that's Ballardian in style when you're looking at a tabletop game, but yeah, that's been interesting to work on and trying out some new and different workflow methods and so on. So that's interesting. I'll be curious to see the reception. Otherwise, since the beginning of the year, I've been trying to get my plate clear and relax, but it just hasn't happened, and now we're getting on for most of the way through the year. So, yeah. There is a horny Choose Your Own Adventure book, which I will be working on soon, and the Deck of Many Kinks that I'm working on with someone separate to Tabletopless, but when we restart, soft reboot, whatever the case turns out to be, Tabletopless, doubtless it will end up being involved in some way. So there's that. I'm looking forward to putting out an update book and then thinking about a revised, maybe even a combined edition of the Gore RPG. That might be interesting to do. It's been longer than I thought since it came out, so that's something to consider. Stuff that I'm excited about coming out. I backed the Crossbows and Catapults game. This was a game that I craved and wanted when I was a little kid. So now I have a modicum of disposable cash. I invested far too much of that modicum of disposable cash in finally getting that game I'd always wanted and coveted and craved and never got. So yeah, I fell for the member berries and the nostalgia bait there. Oops. Quite interested in the Walking Dead RPG because I think the high fail rate of the Year Zero system and the taking risks that is inherent and innate to that game system makes better sense in the Walking Dead universe than it does in a lot of other game worlds where it doesn't really seem to make sense. Though if you want to go to an extreme of that, you can look at John Wick, not that John Wick, the other one. You can look at his Shotgun Diaries for a highly simplistic zombie survival game with massively high risk versus reward. But yeah, I think that'll be interesting. And I'm kind of interested, kind of dreading seeing the Blade Runner RPG, which I should be getting at the same time as the Walking Dead RPG. So yeah, that's what's on my radar for the most part. There's other things, but those are the things I've been thinking about more.